Welcome back to Ina Bear Farm. As you can see, we've finally got our long-awaited BCS tractor, walk-behind tractor. I can get some of the grass off of it here. So, this is a game-changing tool for us here for sure. So, this is the 732 model, and we've got a dual-action sickle bar on the front. You can see down here the little teeth that move back and forth, hidden in the grass, but basically cut it almost like a hedge trimmer. So it just vibrates back and forth, and as you probably saw as I was coming through, it makes really quick work of this Guinea grass. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that the Guinea grass has been a huge amount of time and energy and backbreaking labor into maintaining it. And with this, I can do a section in 20-30 minutes that would have taken me anywhere from 2 to 4 hours with the weed whacker that I was using before. And at the end, I'm nowhere near as tired. This thing mainly runs itself. You just have to do the turning, which is a little bit physical for sure, but just the ability to mow so much grass so fast is really great. The cutting tool is about 40 inches wide, so it cuts kind of a nice width in the space there, and it'll cut through small saplings up to 1 inch. The other day I accidentally cut through a wooden fence post that was like 4 inches thick. It was rotten, otherwise I don't think it would have gone through, but I mean, it was like it wasn't even there. It just toppled right over. So far so good. We were, I'm just kind of learning how to use it best. And most of the idea with this is to just maintain some of these areas where we're either keeping grass for the mulch, or whether it's kind of like a placeholder and we're going to come back and put in ground cover later on. And then also expansion, like this area down the hill will soon be an expansion for a little ulu or breadfruit grove. And so on first pass, hopefully we'll be able to come through with the BCS and just knock down the really tall grass, and we won't have to do the time-consuming and back-breaking labor of using the weed eater for all that. So far so good. I'm going to finish this section here, and then I'll show you just completed in a few minutes what this looks like after we take all this grass down. So we'll be right back. Okay, so as promised, about 20 minutes. Took down this whole section. And you can see the height of the grass that's left here. A little bit high in some spots. You can adjust the height of the cutting tool, but this grass was so tall, as you noticed before, I just wanted to get the bulk of it down. And so these are areas where we have crop rows. We've got 2 rows here, and then future crop row here, and we'll leave an alley of grass between that provides all of our mulch. And so that's another, well, this is a spot in particular where that BCS is really going to come in handy, because I'll be able to just like fly through these alleys and make mulch immediately, especially once I kind of keep it more under control, because that grass hadn't been cut in quite a while. You can see we got all this down. We also cleared this little area of food forest over here, where we've got a white sapote there, obviously banana. There's a little ice cream bean, a bigger ice cream bean, and an ulu tree here. So now that I can get through here, maybe we can come in and fill this in. Some other beneficial plants. Alright, so let's just take a closer look at the machine itself, and then we'll wrap this video up. One last thing before we look at the machine. I kind of wanted to just show part of the food forest that shows why the BCS is so crucial on a farm like this, where we're converting a pasture to a food forest. So, we've got banana here, mango. Down in here is a kukui nut tree, ice cream bean. Got the tithonia there. That's a mamey sapote, banana. This is a acacia confusa, support tree, nitrogen fixer. You've got a little tree ring here. It's going to have a mangosteen, gliricidia. So, I mean, there's just stuff everywhere. And it's really not feasible to come through here with a full-size tractor, try to mow that grass down. And that's why we were using the weed whacker, so you could kind of get in there and snake through all the things I had planted without hitting them. But the weed whacker was exhausting and took too long. So this is kind of like this perfect interim tool for us. You know, as we're trying to maintain this grass, we're making the mulch, and that goes around our fruit trees. And then if you've seen some of our more recent previous videos, we're covering a lot of this Guinea grass with black tarp and killing it off and replacing it with perennial peanut ground cover for the most part. And then, you know, also filling in some of these other spaces as we get a little bit more shade, you know, like this gliricidia is getting to a decent size now. It's casting some shade, and that acacia will do the same. The kukui, the ice cream bean. So as we get more shade, you know, we'll fill these in with shade-loving coffee and turmeric, ginger, stuff like that. That's also productive. But the general ground cover will be that perennial peanut. But for the meantime, you really need a tool like that BCS that can get through here without, you know, destroying and running over all these little trees that I've got out here. All right, let's take a closer look at this thing. So like I mentioned before, this is the dual action sickle bar, and these little teeth here have basically help maneuver through really thick grass. And so you can get this with or without these. I think if you get it without them, it's better for like mowing brush and stuff like that. But if you have real thick, heavy grass like the skinny grass, these teeth just do a good job of, like, I think they just kind of hold everything upright so that they can, that the actual teeth can cut through it and it doesn't like smash it down. So this is an attachment that gets hooked onto the front, in this case the front of the tractor. So it's mounted right here to the tractor, and this actually has its own oil bath down here that's specifically for the sickle bar. And then the tractor itself has a gearbox that's full of oil that's down in here, and this is the main engine with the air filters and the gas tank on the top and the back there. So this is the 732, as I mentioned. This is not the lowest end, but by far not one of the most expensive. It's recoil start, so no electric start on here. I thought that'd be simpler. It's got 3 speeds, which you can see the gears down there. However, when you have the sickle bar installed, the 3rd gear is locked out, so the fastest you can go is 2nd gear, which that's been totally sufficient. If anything, sometimes it's a little too fast, and I've got to knock it down to 1st gear so I can be sure not to cut through any of my trees or anything. It's got forward and reverse. One thing this model has that the lower end models don't have is you can control the differential on the wheels. And so in this forward position, it's unlocked, which helps you to make tighter turns because both the wheels aren't spinning at the same time. But if you get stuck, you know, in a little ditch or a hill or something, and you want to lock them, you just throw that back, and then you get a little better traction with both of the wheels spinning. This side's got your, this is basically like the engine open, you know, like the kill switch. If you let this go, everything shuts down. And that's the clutch here for just engaging the gears. This is the gears. This is for engaging the PTO, the whatever tool you have installed. And then you've got your throttle here, forward, reverse. This is for actually changing the direction of the handlebars, so you can kind of walk to the side of it. You can also flip this thing all the way around. And what's really popular with these machines is to put a tiller. And so if I took the handlebars and I flipped them all the way around here, and I could attach a tiller onto the back of that, so the engine would actually be in the front, and I'd be kind of walking back here with the tiller tilling the ground up. We don't really have much use for a tiller here. We don't have like a huge market garden or anything like that. We're primarily growing a food forest. We have a small, like house garden, but nothing that I really want to get into tilling for. So at least for now, I don't see, ever getting that attachment. There's a ton of other attachments you can get. You can actually, I'm pretty sure for this model, you can get a little seat thing, and you could convert this to a riding lawnmower. You could get a blade deck or a flail mower or all kinds of things, and just sit on that, cruise around like a riding lawnmower if you wanted to. There's a wood chipper, shredder. It might be useful here, especially like for throwing stuff like this Tithonia in. It's a 9.5 horsepower engine. This is a Kohler engine. A lot of them have Hondas, and then others have Kohlers. Heard lots of good things about both. You can get wheel extensions if you want your wheelbase to be wider if you have like a super steep terrain or anything. But like this is fairly steep grade, and so far it's been fantastic. So no complaints so far. I'm loving it. It's really, like I said, a game changer here. So just wanted to show that off. If you're on the Big Island or in Hawaii, it can be really difficult to get machinery like this shipped out here. This came from a company called Earth Tools. They're in Oregon, and I was just really happy with the service and the help that they provided. Talking on the phone through which machine would be best for what we're doing. They did most of the assembly and then shipped it over to us on a pallet. Only took a few weeks, which for Hawaii is amazing. It was reasonably priced. Really couldn't be happier with all that. And so if you're in Hawaii, maybe check out Earth Tools if you're interested in tracking down a BCS. It can be really hard to find anybody on the island that like stocks these or can even seemingly get them very easily. All right, well, we're going to get back to mowing. Thanks for checking this out. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you back here soon at Aina Bear Farm. Aloha.